Hey, what's up YouTube? Hope you all had a good Monday. Unfortunately, my boat's gonna be at the shop the rest of the week, so I'm not gonna be able to fish. I still wanted to make some YouTube videos for you guys, so I was thinking, what could I do to keep the channel current and keep the videos entertaining? And I figured, you know what, I've never had a discussion with my subscribers. So in order to make this video work, I'm gonna need your participation. I'm gonna need you guys to comment down below, and I'm gonna do one video every single day this week, Monday through Friday, and we'll see how you guys like them. If you like them, I'll keep making them. If not, hey, whatever, I'll keep on making the fishing videos. Not a big deal. So today's video, what I wanna do is talk about if you only had 5 soft plastic lures that you could use the rest of your life, what would they be? So let's get started with my top 5 pick. Here's number 5. Alright guys, so if I only could use 5 soft plastics the rest of my life, number 5 would be the Zoom Magnum Super Fluke. And the reason is because you could catch fish on this bait anywhere. I don't care, there's not a bass in the country that won't eat a Magnum Super Fluke. As a little kid, I used to fish ponds and canals around the house and just mop them up on this thing. Now what I do with it is when I'm on lakes like Kissimmee, Okeechobee, I will crush them fishing the Kissimmee grass, working it just like Zara spook. And if you think about it, that's pretty much what you could do with this thing, is work it like a spook through the grass without getting snagged up. And about 90% of the time, when you hook them on this thing, they're coming in the boat. And big fish love it. You can also fish it a multitude of ways. You could dead stick it. You could, work, like I said earlier, you could fish it like a spook. When they're bedding down here in South Florida, you could pitch it in the holes and just watch your line. When your line jumps, they got it. And you catch biggins on the Zoom Super Fluke. So that'd be number 5. Let's get to number 4. Alright guys, so my number 4 pick would be the Gambler Lures BB Cricket. It's no secret down here in Florida, everybody flips. I'd say the majority of big fish you see put on the scales on Saturday and Sunday have come from somebody pitching or flipping. And the BB Cricket is one of my all-time favorite flipping baits for thick, matted vegetation, particularly hydrilla, and particularly in the cold water, cold winter months, post-frontal conditions when the biggins get just jammed up in those hydrilla mats. I could jack them out of those things with this Gambler BB Cricket. And the funny thing is it's the most simple, do-nothing bait, and I don't know what it is, but the big fish hate it. The way I rig this thing is I usually take a 3/0 Gamakatsu super heavy cover flipping hook. I put usually a 1-ounce Hogtech tungsten weight on the back of this thing, 65-pound Suffix 832, and I get to punching. And I'll tell you what guys, I put together so many bags over 30, and I've caught so many fish, I mean so many giants on this bait, and there's nothing to it. There's no fancy appendages that flip around, nothing. So I don't know what it is, but the big fish love this thing. Alright guys, so number 3 is pretty much the same thing as a BB Cricket, but it has a little bit bigger, bulkier profile. And what I do with this is pretty much like a beaver. This is one in particular I got from Bitters. I buy them in bulk. I can show you the bags later. But what I do with these beavers, same thing with BB Crickets. I can flip them in the matted hydrilla, matted vegetation, but for some reason, I just am more comfortable, and I feel like in fishing, in order to catch fish, you gotta fish what you're confident in. And I've caught more fish flipping this into pads and flipping it into reed heads than I have with BB Crickets. Now mind you, I'm sure that the BB Cricket, I can still do the same thing. I just like this one because it has a little bit bulkier profile. I feel like the fish can see it a little bit better when you're flipping the sparser cover, and I catch giant fish doing this, guys. Same thing. 3/0 super heavy cover flipping hook, 1-ounce tungsten, but with this tungsten I'm not flipping it as into heavy as cover. So like what I was saying earlier, I can flip it into pads and reed heads and stuff. I can put this on a 1/2 ounce, 3/16, pitch it into holes, pitch it into reed heads, and you'll catch big fish. But like I said, it's all just a matter of confidence. In myself personally, I'm more confident flipping in less thick cover with a beaver style bait than I am with a BB Cricket, but I'm sure they'll both catch biggins. Alright guys, so number 2, and I'm sure it's not a shocker to many of you guys who have been watching my recent videos, but if I could only fish with the top 5 soft plastics, number 2 would be the Zoom Magnum Speedworm. And the pretty cool thing that I'm going to tell you in this video that I haven't talked about in past videos is how you rig this thing. Now, recently, we just saw Bradley Deutsch win on the FLW Tour at the Harris chain, throwing the same exact thing. I thought it was actually pretty funny because the last videos I've been making for the past couple months, I've been throwing the same thing that he won on the Harris chain with. And it just is pretty cool because it just reassures you that, hey, I'm obviously doing the right thing. But the way he's rigging it that I learned, and the way I've been rigging it in the past, is you want to rig these things with the tail up. So that way it kind of resembles a needlefish. Now Bradley Deutsch was talking about a recent video. In Florida, we have needlefish. St. John's River, Harris chain. Whenever you have bodies of water that have needlefish, you're gonna catch big bass on baits that resemble needlefish. This is one of them. And then there's the devil's horse. The devil's horse is another bait that will resemble needlefish, and that's why it catches such giant bass. So whenever you're rigging up these Zoom Magnum speedworms, always rig them up with the tail facing upwards like that. Now when I rig these, I usually use a 3/16 ounce weight, and I'll usually use like a 4 or 5/0 worm hook. Sometimes I'll use an extra wide gap worm hook just out of because to be honest with you, this is because what I have at the time. I don't really have a preference, but I do like that 6/0 extra wide gap worm hook. That is a freaking shark hook, guys. You're not gonna straighten that hook out. Super sharp, and it always gets the fish in the boat. And the beautiful thing about fishing these speedworms is over 90% of the time, when you get a hook in them, I don't care how big that fish is, unless your line breaks or your hook straightens, she's getting in the boat. So let's get to number one. Alright guys, my number one pick, if I could only have one soft plastic the rest of my life to fish with, and I'm sure it's not a shocker to most of you, I'm sure it's actually a lot of your favorites too, is a Cinco. Particularly black and blue, and here in Florida, this little blue tip, for some reason, makes the fish bite them that much more. I don't know what it is, I don't know how to explain it. Another thing is, you can fish these things any way you want them. You could wacky rig them, Texas rig them, Carolina rig them, you could dead stick them, you could flip mats, you could flip pads, you could pitch it into holes when they're bedding. I mean, you could do anything with this bait. Put it on the back of a jig and drag a jig. Anything, guys, and bass will eat them anywhere a bass lives. Japan, America, South Africa, wherever they're catching bass, guys, they will eat a Cinco. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know why. It's nothing special. It's just literally a stick in the water, and they tear them up. Now, I know that like people have said that the Cincos made by Gary Yamamoto, the original Cincos, have like the perfect salt mixture in them, so where they fall down perfectly. But me in particular, I get them in bulk. This particular bag that I've been using in all my videos lately comes from the Fisherman's Candy Store. This is only like a quarter of what was left. This bag was full to the top, and it's already middle of March, and I'm already pretty much, that's what I've got left. So I'm gonna have to go back and get another bag. I use them pretty much every trip I've fished this year, and I've caught them every single time. So that's my number one bait, guys. Tomorrow we'll be talking about jigs, and I hope you all like this video. If you haven't yet, click that like button and subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow.